Hey, everybody. It is Donna
And Lauren.
from what we call the Sacred Sustainable Practice. And we're so excited to be here with you today. We created this course to support coaches, facilitators, and healers who are either creating, recreating, or expanding their practice. And we did that because we want to ensure that coaches and facilitators have a place to come to learn not only a way of being and a way of developing the skills that they need to create a practice in a way that feels authentic, that honors the ride that they're on, that is all of those things. And so we are here to talk to you a little bit today about our work. And we're so excited you're here. Because one of the things that we were really clear on as we've been chatting about this topic, what now, Lauren, for 2 years since we both left our full-time jobs. And we've always been in the conversation of what happens for people as they're building a practice, the ride of going from being an employee or going from, having your income handled to becoming someone that is responsible for generating their income. And I know for me, I hired Lauren when I first started my practice because of her incredible skill set around enrolling. I've never met Lauren was the director of enrollment at one of the top organizations for women's empowerment. We both were leaders there. She is responsible for enrolling how much, like millions of dollars,
Yeah.
millions of dollars and thousands of women into the programs there at the School of Women Arts. And we both really saw that and so as we stepped into our own ride, it was like, I need to learn how to enroll. I avoided sales for my whole life. Like even in retail, I was a retail person for many years, and I hated and related to selling as something that just made me feel schmarmy. And so what I witnessed in Lauren in her role at the school was women would line up to talk to her and to be with her, and she'd be on the phone constantly because she knew how to do it in such a way that it was people felt seen, they felt acknowledged, they felt heard, they didn't feel pressured. It was she really was walking them through the process of let's figure out if this is a fit. And I knew if I was going to be able to have a coaching practice, that I would need to feel that relaxed and that confident in my skill set. So I hired her. Aren't I smart? I hired her to teach me how to do it. And so we really decided to come together and build and to create a program that not only address to teach women or anyone that we're bringing into the program that wants to learn how to have those conversations in a really authentic, laid back, themselves kind of way, that was going to be part of the process. The other part of the process that we saw that wasn't being addressed was the inner ride that happens. I call it the ride that happens when you start becoming responsible for generating your own income. It's scary as hell. I want to celebrate any person on this call and any person in the world that has taken on the experience of growing their own practice. Really found it was a profound journey of expansion for me as a person. And I know Lauren will speak to her journey as well, but it's and what we want to help people do is we created a container in this class where people get the support. They learn how to work with the natural fears and doubts and inner critic that shows up when you're stepping out with your own work, or when you're stepping up in a new way, or when you're trying something new, or just when you breathe, when you're starting a practice. It really is quite a inner experience. And so we saw, as we were looking into the world of how are people growing practices and what organizations are helping, so many organizations are built on let me show you how to do it. And that is a huge part of this that Lauren is going to talk a little bit more about. And it's also, we wanted to give people the container, the structure, the tools to work with and be okay with and feel normal and to feel supported in those spots where it feels terrifying, to be quite honest. But the cool thing is what could go on and on for like hours. So that's why we're here. That's why we got together to create this. And I know Lauren has some things she wants to share too, but I'm really excited that we're doing this and that I'm doing it with her. I've asked for a better partner.
Oh, right back at you, Donzi. Yeah, it's so interesting. Like, Dawn and I worked together for so long at the school, and then it was the same thing. So, we were both in our spots. And I think many of you have probably felt this when you work for someone where we're like, we got this, we were masters of our craft, and then you leave, and it does, becoming an entrepreneur, developing your own practice, it's a whole different, it is a spiritual ride. Like if we do it right, it calls us forth. And we both knew that. And I said to Donna the other day, if I didn't know that things were happening for me and for my evolution and for my growth, it would be very hard to move. And I remember after I left my job, again, I felt very much like a master of my craft. But the thought of actually teaching or developing my own work brought up all of my old shit. The fears, all of the wanting to hide, all of the, and anyone that looked at me in my old job would have said, like, are you kidding me? Like, you have so much to offer. And yet I was so scared. And so what's interesting is that as I was coaching Donna in the, how to enroll, she was coaching me in the, how do you move through the blocks and resistance? And like she said, we spent months really coaching each other on how to do this thing. And one of the things that we know in our decade-long journey of working with women and in sales and enrollment and in coaching is that, we women thrive in a container. We thrive when we have community where we can do this together. Like, I would never have been able to build anything if I hadn't done it with Donna. If I didn't have somebody to bounce my ideas off of, somebody to be scared with, somebody to, coach me, I would have really had a hard time. And so this class really is designed to really handle both, and we do not shy away from the fact that we want this to be a sacred journey for people. Like, the idea of stepping in and using your voice is a very spiritual experience if you let it be. And I think we often skip over that step. And so we really want to look at how do you, in many ways, co-create your experience with something greater than you. How do you actually trust that something's got you? How do you step forward in that way? Yeah. How do you work through the ego versus the who you're meant to be in the world, all of that stuff? And then how do you have the practical skill set? So for me, I was saying to Donna earlier, I was like, I'm a spiritual gal and I am a practical gal. So
yeah. I think that's one of our strong suits, both of us, is like, yes, we both like to be held by spirit, but we also like to know what the hell we're doing.
Yes. And yeah, you cannot build a business or a practice without feeling like you're relaxed, particularly in enrolling clients and in inviting clients into your business. And I think for many people, we've all been taught in a very specific model, right? Like, we've been taught in the model of, it's got to be very masculine. It has to be very linear. You have to just like check the things off the list, right? You have to generate the email list and you have to write copy in a certain way and you have to do these things. And I've talked to so many women, and myself included, because I'm such a rebel, that doesn't work for me. And I think it doesn't work for so many women. I think there's a way in which one of the things we really want to talk about is how do you do enrollment and sales and marketing from a place that feels aligned and it feels real and it feels like you don't have to bend yourself into a pretzel or become someone else to enroll.
Totally.
And then how do you also have the language? How do you actually know what to say, what to talk about, how to handle resistance that comes up? These are the things that we want to talk about. So we want to handle the spiritual ride, and we want to handle the tangible ride, the language, the words, all of that, so that you can feel like you feel very whole in being able to step forward and in. And then again, we want to build a 3-month container where we're doing this together and we're celebrating our wins and we're asking questions and you're being coached and guided and learning from other women. So I'm so excited. I mean, this is something that I've been wanting to teach. It feels very much like a missing piece.
Yeah.
For me. And it's something that we have been wanting to teach. And this one right here, the two Latin Italians, I say, we're going to be teaching together. It will not be uninteresting.
Yeah, for sure. And Lauren, I love what you shared. And I also am like such a big stan, like when you talk about like the spiritual ride. And again, like Lauren was saying, her thing was like about her voice and like, what am I, like, can I put my voice out in the world? I've been coaching for years. I had the skill set of coaching. I've had people that were paying me. I had people that were like really happy with my services. I'd had people that were like signing up again and again. Like, I knew I was a good coach. For me, I didn't have the skill set. Like, I was too afraid. I didn't have this. I was afraid of selling, but I also was afraid of like, I'm a single mom. My son's dad is amazing and is totally involved in his life, but financially I'm doing this myself. I live in Manhattan. I have a child. And I was like, this has to work. But what I started to do is I had to really, and I was having real life panic attacks while I was doing that.
Yeah.
Lauren was really walking me through that. But what I saw, what I've experienced, and what I've like, what has helped me transition into a full-time practice where I've replaced my income 100% of my full-time income has now been replaced. It all started with, I had to really learn and lean into like, I can do this. I am being held by something greater than me. There is a bigger game afoot. That is what kept me moving forward. That, and it was a real journey of like doing it in a way that felt aligned. I would see other people that had built 6-figure practices or were having like these, like had speaking careers or had book, like, and I'd start to go, is it that way? Is it that way? Which way should I do it? That worked for her. Maybe I should try that model, even though it feels awkward and doesn't feel quite me, because they must know something, which they do. They know something, right? They clearly know something. They're having a thriving coaching practice. And it was like, what I kept coming back to was, and have learned and have seen other coaches go through this same journey, is like, well, what's my way? Like, and trusting that if it doesn't feel aligned, that's okay, that there's something there for me to discover, that I can create this in a way that's authentically me. If I'm not someone that, like, I like to go on Facebook and on Instagram and share things. That's not Lauren's way. Lauren likes to do more emails and connect with people on the phone. And like, I like to get people on the phone too, but it's like, we each have our own way in. And so we're not going to teach any specific model. The only thing that we are specifically going to teach is how to have an enrollment conversation that's authentic and real and relaxed. How you get clients on your calendar, there's so many different ways. And in fact, one of the things I'm excited about is we're going to interview other people that have built practices in lots of different ways, because we want our students to really see there is no one way to do it. There's lots of ways that money can come in the door. There's lots of creativity for you on getting clients. And part of the journey is especially going from being an employee to an entrepreneur, it's like, I just so wanted someone to hand me the rule book and be like, here's how you do it, Donna. Yay, I'm going to do it that way. That's why this is a sacred journey, because it's like, this is an opportunity to really take dominion over, like, you know what? I only want to coach on 4 days a week or 3 days a week. And I want to work with someone. I love working with people for a year, 6 months. Other people only want to do 6 weeks. We each get to really attune to, and that's part of what this course will be, is like opportunities for you to go in and really listen. How do you distinguish that inner voice so that you can really make choices that you're aligned with? Because when you're aligned, you can sustain your business. It's like, yes, the alignment allows you to keep showing up, keep course correcting, keep trying new things, being flexible. And like, so we're really excited to have it be in that soul-centered context, so that you get to see this isn't about building a business. I'm building a business. Like, there's other, careers like that. You can get a franchise that hands you everything in a box. But I know what you're up to. If you're a coach or a facilitator or a healer, you want to do this in a way that lets you get your work out into the world. And so we want to support you in like, what inner skill set do I need to learn that'll help me through the natural ebbs, flows, ups, downs, bumpy rides, smooth rides, so that you'll keep going and that you'll keep serving people on this planet, which we so need. People are, clearly where we are right now. People need it.
Yes. Yes.
We won't go there, but we'll just say it's a necessary skill right now. Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
So, so we're very excited. So this is the beginning. We're going to do a little mini series. So every week we're going to, this was just an overview of who we are and what we're about. But every week we're going to do a little mini series, a half hour on different topics that we'll cover more in depth in the course. So we're going to be talking about everything from things that you avoid in selling and how to shift that to, so we're going to give you some tools for how to even begin your journey around building a sacred practice right now. And so if you tune in every week, we're going to be posting every week that
For 4 weeks. We're going to do 4 weeks. Yep.
Yeah. So be on the lookout for that. And then Donna's going to tell you a little bit. So this whole thing is because we're launching our class in September. It's going to go through September through November. September 8th it starts. And Donna will give you a little bit of information about the course.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. We're so excited. Like Lauren and I love to create structure and curriculum, and we got really excited about it. So what we're going to be doing is over the course of 12 weeks, you'll meet with Lauren and I. We're both going to be teaching every session. We'll have an hour and a half teaching call once a week, except 1 week we're going to do a weekend course. More details if you want those. We're going to do a weekend on enrolling and overcoming objections. In addition,
I just have to say, that sounds very dry. It's so fucking exciting when you learn how to like overcome people's objections. That is the key to building your business. I'm so excited about it.
Absolutely. And this woman, again, she knows how to walk a woman through her resistance. So we want to be learning from the master. And so the other thing is we added in what we call clarity calls. So at least 6 times, I think might be more, throughout the program, we're going to do an hour-long coaching session where people get to bring their questions that they're experiencing throughout. The course is broken up into 2 parts. There's the education part where we're going to be like learning lots of things. And then we're going to be practicing together. People will be practicing wherever they're at. Maybe they're practicing their enrollment calls. Maybe they're clarifying their message. Maybe they're working on some of their inner stuff. It's like, but each week towards the end, everyone's getting the opportunity to like put into practice what they need right now based on all the tools that we taught them. So that's the gist of the course. We're going to have about 20 women. We're keeping it small so that we can give lots of as much individualized attention as we can. It is going to be, all the calls will be recorded. You'll have access to the videos not only during the course. If you can't, we want everyone to be as live, attend live as much as possible, but they will be recorded in case you can't. You also have access to those after the course ends so that you can go back and you can continue to reference the materials. But it's all designed to help you have tools that you can reach for throughout your, to continue to sustain your sacred practice. Did I leave anything out?
We are doing an early bird, which is very exciting. So early bird, we're starting, we just are launching. So early bird is going through August 15th. And as part of early bird, you get a really lovely discount. Donna and I love a rockin' deal. So we're doing a big discount. And then for the first 10 women who sign up with us, you can get a free coaching session with both myself and with Donna that you can use before the class or during the class if you want more of that one-on-one attention. So I think that's, if you want more information or you want to be in touch with us, so you can either put a comment in the chat below, write a comment to us if you want more information, and we'll send you it that way. Also, you can email us at info@thesacredsustainablepractice.com. Again, info@thesacredsustainablepractice.com. It's a very long thing to type in. The chat too, but you can write us if you want more information. We can send you the course details, and then we are also always happy to hop on the phone and chat with anyone that has questions and really help you feel into if it feels like a good fit for you or not. So anyway, that's what I got done.
Oh my gosh, can I add one more thing? I just had a conversation this morning with someone who's had a practice for, she's probably like the last 20 years, maybe longer. She has a therapy practice, but we were talking about her experience with it. And one of the things that I found intriguing and I found for myself is that when she was in therapy or, building her practice, as she was learning and growing and evolving, she had people that she could turn to, that she, like, I don't know what they call them, like supervisors that oversaw as she was growing her practice. And it was a place where she could go in and she could ask questions and she, and could understand how to best serve someone. And so I have found throughout my coaching career, which has been, probably 6 years now, it's like I've been consistently working with coaches, and specifically having a coach that in a container where you can turn to and get answers and really understand, like make things like hearing how other people are going through things or what they're experiencing, and then being able to go like, oh, what I'm going through is totally normal and not like I'm messing things up. Oh, that's a normal thing to come up in a practice. Like being around other coaches, being around people that have built their practices, being guided, being held. It is such a supportive way of doing something that is already terrifying.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, and when I say terrifying, I don't mean that to scare people. I just want to normalize it. There are so many things that come up. I feel rejected. Why aren't they returning my call? What, like I can't ask for, I can't charge that. Oh, I can't, like all of how am I going to make my rent this month? Like, it looks like everybody online has their shit together. Like, and meanwhile, we're all going through the same thing. So one thing you can bet the farm on is that Lauren and I are going to be real with you. We are both real, down to earth. We're not going to there's no bullshit here. We're going to just be real and authentic. And that's an invitation for you to have the same experience and to let yourself be held during this time. Whether you're creating a new practice, whether you're going to a new level, no matter what your goal is, whether it's to just have 2 clients or I want a 6-figure practice, it does not matter where you're at. What we've put together, we'll send you the information if you're interested. But I just really encourage you. Being held was the change maker for me. To be around people that knew what they were doing made it a much easier process and probably saved me years of angst. So I just want to be a voice for let yourself be held, whether it's by us or other people.
Yes. Amen, sister.
Amen, sister. All right.
Yes.
So again, you can either drop it to heart in the comments below. You can send it or leave us a note. You can also info@thesacredsustainablepractice.com, and we'll get back to you with the course description, dates, and all that other stuff.
Thank you so much for listening. It's really a joy. We hope that you'll tune in every week, and we hope that we get the opportunity to work with a few of you.
Yes, absolutely. And if it's not you, pass it on. We like people passing things on.
We do.
Right?
We love that.
We love that shit. Thanks.
Talk to you soon.
Bye.